Hello, and welcome to a new series on the channel called Tales from the Swamp. A series in which we are going to be reading and discussing things ranging from creepypastas to just random Reddit stories that are spooky. For our first story of this series, we are actually going to be reading the creepypasta Candle Cove, a very well-known creepypasta from 2009. I vaguely remember this one from when I was younger. I was not as into creepypastas as some people, but I did read some of them. This one's very vague in my brain. I kind of remember it slightly. I remember it's like about a TV show or something. I will give a disclaimer. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think this story is very long. Most creepypastas aren't. So, disclaimer. So this story is formatted kind of oddly. It takes the form of kind of like a forum, like a log of some sort, where it's like people like with usernames and they kind of like post something and then someone replies. So that's going to be kind of the way we read it. Skyshell033. Subject, Candle Cove. Local kid show? Does anyone remember this kid show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been like 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere. So I think it was like a local station around like 1971 to 1972. I lived in Arlington at the time, and I don't remember which station. But I do remember it was a weird time, like 4 p.m. Mike Painter 65. It seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside Ashland when I was like 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove, was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to like a little girl. If I was a little kid and I saw like on the TV like a marionette doll talking to a little girl, they don't even have to describe it for me. Like that's already fucking creepy. Skyshell033. Yes. I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was like always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls, real low budget. His head was like an old porcelain baby doll that looked like an antique that didn't belong to his body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Jaren 2005. Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly the show you mean. I think Candle Cove only ran for a couple months in 71 to 72. I was like 12 when I watched it a few times with my brother. It was Channel 58, whatever station that is. My mom would let us switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. If I remember correctly, like Channel 58 is a reference to something. Like there's like multiple stories based off of that or something. I do know this was like turned into a TV show at some point, like an actual television show, and I think you can even buy the book or something like a book of this on like Amazon now. It took place in Candle Cove. It was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was his calliope music constantly playing. Seriously, what the fuck word is that? Is that Greek? Calliope?
Calliope.
Don't remember the girl's name. It was like Janice or Jade or something? I think it was Janice. Thank you, Jaren. Memories are flooding back when you mentioned the Laughingstock and the Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was like a wooden smiling face with a lower jaw that was submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had this awful Edwin voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when it would switch from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that would talk. Mike Painter 65. Haha, I remember that too. I don't like this like little winky face he put in there. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. Do you remember this part, Skyshell? You have to go inside. That doesn't sound like I don't feel like I put enough oomph into that. Hold on. You have to go inside. Skyshell033. Ugh, Mike. I got a chill reading that. Yeah, I remember. That was what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in. like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was, and the camera would push in on the laughingstock's face. With each pause, you have to go inside. Now, why did I make him sound like that? I'm sorry, that sounded really fucking bad. That's like, I actually apologize. Jokes aside, that sounded horrible. With his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw, and the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it was just so cheap and awful. Do you guys remember the villain? He had like a face that was like a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth. Can I already say, like, the whole aesthetic of like a really old TV show from the 70s is already terrifying enough. Like puppets and like marionette shit. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan. Already creepy. You don't have to add a bunch of like stuff to make that creepy. Like just the thought of like old TV shows, like old, even like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, if you go rewatch like old like Barney episodes, even that was kind of creepy. This guy's literally named Kevin Hart. His username is literally Kevin Hart. I like to believe in this universe this is actually Kevin Hart. Honestly, thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was like 5 when this show was on. Nightmare Fuel. Jaren 2005. That wasn't the villain. The puppet with the mustache. That was the villain's sidekick. Horace Horrible. Horace the Horrible. What a good name. He had a monocle too, but it was like on top of the mustache. I used to think that meant like he had like one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette called the Skin Taker. The Skin Taker? Seriously, that's actually already like ominous. That's like scary. The Skin Taker. Kevin Hart. Jesus H. Christ. What kind of kid show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker would show up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings. Just a dirty skeleton wearing a brown top hat and cape. His glass eyes were too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Okay, that's like less scary. It's like literally a skeleton with like a cape on him. Okay, little less scary. Skyshell 033. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin? Okay, he has like a cape made of children's skin. I gotta admit, the drip kind of go crazy though. Mike Painter 65. Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close? His jaw just like slid back and forth? I remember the little girl would say, Why does your mouth move like that? And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera, and he would say, Grind your skin. It's actually kind of like a little scary, guys. I'm getting a little bit scared, guys. It's a little off-putting. Skyshell 033. I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had where the opening jingle ended and the show faded from black and all the characters were just there. But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces and they were just screaming. And the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically and just screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through this for hours. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. You were wetting the bed? Fucking shut up, you fucking dumb bitch. Kevin Hart. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. Skyshell 033. No. That's not possible. There was like no plot or anything. I mean, it was just like them standing in place, crying and screaming for like the whole show. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God, I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed. Jaren 2005. Oh God, yeah. The little girl, Janice. I remember seeing her shake and the Skin Taker screaming. What did I say? I didn't even read that part. I knew that was coming. It was just Skin Taker like Skin Taker screaming through his gnashing teeth and his jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off their wire hinges. I turned it off and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. Mike Painter, 65. I visited my mom today at the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s. When I was like 8 or 9, if she remembered a kid's show, Candle Cove. She said that she was surprised that I could remember that. I asked why, and she said, because I'm gonna do this in like an old, like she's in a nursing home, so I'm gonna give her like an old person voice. I used to think it was so strange that you'd say, I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom. And then you would tune the TV to static and just watch dead air for like 30 minutes. You had such a big imagination with your little pirate show. What the fuck? Wait, whoa. So they're like inferring that this was like all these kids were simultaneously remembering. Wait, what the all these people were like remembering the exact same show with like specific memories of like things like characters and shit. And it was not real, and that they were just watching TV static. Yeah, what the fuck? Okay. If I was like a parent and my kid was like, I'm gonna go watch this show, and they would walk up to the TV and just like stare at like static like for like an hour and a half, I would I would smash the kid's head in. Oh god, that is you know what? I like the story. It was short but good. Like it was kind of like I like those sort of stories are like subversive in the way that like you kind of reading it and getting along. And you kind of think you know what's gonna happen, and at the very end they kind of like pull the rug up from you. And they didn't have to be too like on the nose about the horror. It was all like more subtle, which is cool. And like I said, there's apparently more to this story wise. There's like the channel is like a known thing in other stories or something. Like I said, I don't know exactly, but very cool. Definitely a little freaky, like the Skin Taker shit. The fact this is like a demonic TV station is also kind of funny to me. It's like demons trying to fucking psyop children or something. That's kind of funny. So what was, and I'm guessing the demons that are like broadcasting this stuff, was their whole like plan. Their whole archetype was just kind of like to subtly scare kids into like piss in the bed. And if so, that's pretty funny. Without further ado, this is the end of the video. I appreciate you guys sticking around enough to listen to me read this, and I hope you guys enjoy. I know this was like out of left field for my channel, but like genuinely I have been wanting to start doing some other stuff, and thought the spooky season would be a good time for it. Either way, if you guys really enjoyed this and want to see me do more stuff like this, which I do want to do, if you guys want me to read a specific story, whether it be like a Creepypasta or just a Reddit forum or something, just link it below and I'll get to it. I'm really trying to find some real interesting ones. I mean, the Creepypastas are short and kind of like, I'm not going to say they're not scary, but they're not like the worst. Either way, without further ado, this has been Tales from the Swamp. I hope you guys stick around for the next one. I'll see you guys then.